on the very last few chapters here, and I think we're in chapter 2. Imagination is key for lifestyle creation. That I wanted to love to read books, get different horizon. It's all about perspectives. So I learned from everyone and everything. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sea Turtle Mindset. We're on the very last few chapters here, and I think we're in chapter 2. We definitely are in chapter 2. So let's just dive right in, jump right into it, and swim with this amazing story. Now, in this chapter, it's specifically talking about imagination. Now, the reason why I start, well, first of all, the first thing I write is imagination is key for lifestyle creation. Now, one of the things I've noticed was I didn't like the 9-to-5 life. Now, I'm not knocking the 9-to-5. It was just not my cup of tea. It wasn't my lifestyle that I wanted to keep pursuing. And so what did I start doing? I started thinking about, I started imagining what I would like to be doing so that I can make a life or a living, right? And I started thinking, I was like, I love to read books, I love to travel, and I love social media. So I found businesses that incorporated all of that, right? The travel, the social media, online, internet, leveraging the internet for producing income, and books. I was like, I love to read, why not make a book? So that was really when I started using my imagination, and it's just so fascinating. So I start the chapter off with Nori swimming successfully through the Panama Canal. After he swims through, he's in the Atlantic Ocean, right? And in the Atlantic Ocean, he meets different creatures. Specifically, he meets many different kinds of sea turtles. Now, in my notes here, what I wrote was, once your mind expands, it cannot contract to its original state. So this is the horizon example, and this is the horizon example. You see, when you're looking at the horizon, right, you see a mental picture. When you look at it, and you've never been to the top of that mountain that you're looking at, or you've never been to that, let's say you're looking at a horizon, and then you get to the where you was looking, your mind changes because now you see a different horizon. It's all about perspectives. You see, in what travel does, and what I've experienced in my journey, is every time I traveled, my horizons expanded. And because my horizon expanded, my understanding of the world and different cultures all around it, my mind kept on constantly changing, and I just fell in love with it. So I kind of wanted to write that in that chapter, and definitely see what I've learned along the way is that everybody that I meet, everything that I do, or everything that encounters in my life, I learned something from it. So I learned from everyone and everything. So when you see someone or someone comes into your life, and sometimes it's, I don't know. Because this is what I've done before. I've met some people and I shut them down immediately. But then again, that person came to you in your life to teach you a lesson, you know? So don't immediately shut people out of your life. Now, if they're negative and toxic people, I understand. But you have to understand, if those negative and toxic people are still coming into your life, that means you're producing negative and toxic thoughts. Because like attracts like. And that's how I know. Because I've experienced it myself. So, and I'm preaching to the choir here, you know. So, it's pretty cool. Let's move on. In this chapter, it's a beautiful day, and he's swimming in the Atlantic Ocean, doing his thing, and all of a sudden he sees a black dolphin, and he doesn't know what a black dolphin is, so enthusiastically he calls out on it. Little does he know, orca whales are there, are their predators, right? So that's why Albert the orca says, oh, I see why you're not afraid of me, because he's supposed to, it's natural, you know. But the reason why I named them Albert the orca is because I wanted to name him after Albert Einstein. See, the reason why I named him after Albert Einstein is because Albert Einstein, the thing that he valued the most was his imagination. So the very first question he asks him is, hey, Tell me, my friend, what do you value the most? And he goes, my imagination, without second thinking about it, nothing. Boom, imagination. And so Albert Einstein said this. He said, imagination is more important than knowledge. For knowledge is limited, where imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution. See, imagination is infinite. Knowledge it's limited by what we know. So if imagination is limited, if imagination is infinite and knowledge is limited, we should be more leaning on the imagination side than the knowledge side, because knowledge is all that we know. The word know is in knowledge. No, it's K-N-O and then ledge, right? But what happens is we have to jump over that ledge into the infinite waters of imagination. So that's my message, and that was really the biggest thing I wanted to emphasize in this chapter. You know, the reason, and then he goes on and he goes, the reason why I value imagination is because you can literally create your world as you speak and as you think. See, I'm telling you, never in a million years would I have thought I would have written a book. But all of a sudden, I dove into that English 101 class, and it really sparked that inner child in me, and it just started making me imagine, you know, really going into literature. And what's funny is, in high school, I used to be really good at English class. You know, I would always procrastinate and wait until the last day to read the chapter or read the book. But at the end of the day, I would read it and I would be able to analyze it in a specific way where I would really get the message, or would really come very close to what the message of the author was trying to say. Because I'm very particular with words, symbolism, and stuff like that. So it's just funny how the world works and how it came all back around. Because I didn't go to school for literature. I went to school for engineering. Okay, I went to school for Spanish because I followed my peers. They would always talk about how much an engineer would make, an average salary of engineer. So I followed the money. And that was something that now I'm grateful that I did, because now I know that if you chase the money, money will always run away. But if you chase value, money will chase you. Because here's the thing, money is shy. Okay? Money's shy. So if you're chasing something, that means it's running away from you all the time. So that's why I don't chase money anymore. And what I do is I really want to just give value, and I want my message to have impact. And so at the end of the day, now what I do is, it's not about the money. It's about the value that is being produced. And so the only way you can produce value is by imagination. And because with imagination, your world is infinite. You can create anything you can imagine, literally. And one of the things I want to emphasize too is your conscious imagination becomes your subconscious nature. I'll repeat that again. Your conscious imagination becomes your subconscious nature. So what does that mean? What you consciously keep producing, creating with your imagination would eventually subconsciously become second nature. Okay, so whatever you do, whatever you love to do, do it. And use all your imagination, use all your creativity. Because eventually, it becomes mastered by yourself. Okay? And then you all of a sudden, you're just a master and an expert in that field of your imagination. Okay? So, and that's really it. I mean, that chapter really was all about imagination and creativity, and really about just embracing it. You know, sometimes I feel like in high school and college, people don't imagine as much because they're following a plan, they're following a blueprint. Now, if something's already laid out for you, right? Where's the root that's already laid out? It's what they know has been produced into a book, a textbook that they know, okay? It's limited, right? Because this book is limited. I imagined it, and this is the creation of it, but it's limited. You know, I can make this book from 100 pages to 2,000 pages, right? That's the difference. So we'll instead grab this book, and I want you to grab this book. I want you to read it, and I want you to imagine even more after you read it. So when you read a page, right? Let's say you read a sentence that goes, simply close your eyes and dream. Think of whatever your heart desires. Stay true to yourself and hold that imagine vividly in your mind. Just literally close your eyes and just go for the ride. Just go for a ride. Your imagination can take you to different parts of the world, can take you to a different complete world, you know? So that's what I like about imagination. Really, really, truly. Imagination is a tool that has been calcified throughout the years. And so with the purpose of this chapter really is to decalcify your imagination, you know? Because at the end of the day, we can be held prisoners physically, but mentally we'll be free. And with that freedom, you can imagine a world that can separate you from this physical world. Now, I don't want to get metaphorical with you. I don't want to get into the mystic world, but I just want you to embrace your imagination, because your imagination will create the lifestyle that you want. So whatever you imagine your world to be, and you want it to be, keep imagining it. Don't be limited by the social constructs that society builds us within. Okay? Dive within and imagine a world, and imagine the life that you want, because it's 100% possible. All you have to do is imagine and take action. Take consciously, daily action towards that. Step by step, you win the race, but not in fast spurts. Charlie Munger said that. He's Warren Buffett's business partner. And he said, step by step, you win the race, but not in fast spurts. You see, sometimes people feel like if you imagine the world, if you imagine what you want your life to look at, that you think by imagining it, you're going to get there. No, it's step by step. You win the race, not in fast spurts. Okay? So with that being said, guys, that's chapter 2. Okay? Chapter 1 and chapter 0 coming right up in the next video. But really, this whole chapter don't be afraid to imagine, because your imagination really is the most ultimate tool that we really have. Because with imagination, what you imagine becomes actual. I'm telling you. Start imagining and start dreaming and follow your dreams, even if they're crazy. Even if they're crazy, follow your dreams. Trust me. You'll thank yourself later. Do today what your 20 years from now self would want you to do. And imagine. So with that being said, guys, Sea Turtle Mindset, spread the wisdom. Leave your comments on imagination. I want to know what you imagine. I want to know what you liked about the chapter. I want to know everything. So spread the wisdom. I'll see you in the next video. Remember, subscribe so you can see other future videos of wisdom being spread. And also follow the Facebook and Instagram, Sea Turtle Mindset. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. Congratulations on reading the chapter.